Welcome to the Vue TextArea tutorial. With this Syncfusion Vue TextArea component, users can enter longer text, such as comments or messages, with features like clear icons, floating labels, and adjustable sizes. In this video, I will show you how to create a Vue app and add the Syncfusion Vue TextArea component to it. You will also see how to work with a few of its basic features, like floating labels, resize modes, validation states, and the read-only state. Before proceeding, make sure you have installed the latest versions of Vue and Node.js. I'll use Visual Studio Code as my editor and show the output in the Chrome browser. To create a project in Vue, open Visual Studio Code and type the command npm create vite at latest. I set my app name as my Vue app. Next, choose Vue as the framework and JavaScript as the variant. A Vue project is created. I navigate to the newly created Vue app and install the required dependencies using the command npm install. Now the application is configured with the default settings of a Vue project. To use the TextArea component, I type the command npm install at Syncfusion /ej2 Vue inputs -- save to install the inputs package with its dependencies. Next, I must register the trial license key to use Syncfusion components. I open the main.js file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion ej2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. For instructions on how to generate a trial key, refer to the link in this video's description. To add the TextArea component, I open the app Vue file and remove the default code. Then I import the TextArea component from the Syncfusion Vue inputs package. To access the CSS styles of the TextArea component, in the style tag, I import the Fluent theme CSS references. Then I add the division element with the class TextArea to align the division element. Within that element, I include the EJS TextArea tag. I set the width to 200 pixels and the placeholder value to enter your comments. To align the component, in the style tag, define the TextArea class with styles like padding bottom. Now let me save the changes and run the application using the command npm run dev. You can see the TextArea with the placeholder value. Enter your comments. See here, I can enter multiple lines of text. Next, let me show you the TextArea's 3 validation states: success, warning, and error. To use any of these states, just set the CSS class property with one of the built-in classes eSuccess, eWarning, or eError. Here, I have set the eSuccess class to show the success TextArea. I also changed the placeholder property value to success. To display the warning and error states, I'll copy and paste the TextArea tag. For the warning state, I changed the CSS class to eWarning. I also changed the placeholder value to warning. For the error state, I changed the CSS class to eError and changed the placeholder value to error. You can see 3 TextAreas with the 3 validation states. When I begin typing in one of them, the placeholder value disappears. I can customize the visibility of the placeholder text using the float label type property. The Syncfusion Vue TextArea supports 3 types of float label visibility: always, auto, and never. Let me show you how all the types work. In the first TextArea tag, I add the property float label type and set the value to always. In the placeholder value, I change the value to always so that I can tell which type of float label is assigned to the TextArea. In the second TextArea tag, I add the property float label type and set the value as auto. I change its placeholder property value to auto. In the same way, I add the float label type property with the value never inside the third TextArea tag. I will remove the CSS class property from all text areas. You can see the first text area with the placeholder value always. The placeholder text always floats above the text area. In the second text area, the placeholder text will automatically move upward when I enter a value. Look at this final text area. The placeholder value disappears once a value is entered. Next, you will see how to customize the text area using row and column counts. Before proceeding further, let me remove the second and third TextArea component tags to make this customization easier to understand. To change the row and column counts, I add the rows property and set the value to 3. Then I set the cols property to 50. I also change the float label type and placeholder values for better clarity. Looking at the component now, initial visible number of lines, that is the vertical size and width of the text area, is changed. By default, you cannot resize the text area component, but it supports 4 different resize modes: vertical, horizontal, both, and none. I plan to resize the text area vertically and horizontally, so let me add the resize mode property and set its value to both. See, now I can resize the text area vertically and horizontally. By default, I can type as many characters as I want in the text area. To limit the number of characters allowed, I add the max length property and set its value to 8. Look here, when I try to type more than 8 characters, I cannot. Next, let's see how to prevent editing the text area value. I can achieve this by enabling the read-only property and setting a default value by using the value property. I also remove the placeholder property. You can see the text area is now in a read-only state, and the user cannot edit the value. Still, you can use the handle to resize the text area. Finally, I will show you how to disable the text area. Let me add the enabled property and set its value to false. Now I cannot interact with the text area at all. That's how easy it is to add the Syncfusion Vue TextArea component to a Vue application and use a few of its basic features. If you want to try out the example used in this video, download it from that GitHub link in this video's description. I have also shared a link in the description to learn about obtaining a free license key to use our Vue components through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel.